And let's be clear, President Trump had actually called out Nigeria face to face with Buhari in 2018 when they met. The difference is Trump asked him nicely, stop the killing of Christians in Nigeria.
Hello my people, you're welcome back to my channel. This is Boyos Network. Guys, Nigeria is still under fire. A lot of tension. Trump don't put Nigeria under hot seat. Nigerian gallant soldiers are now working. They are on their toes now, really working. So this news of Trump invading Nigeria has come out with so many attention, so many reactions from Nigerians. People have been reacting. People have been saying different kind of things. Or more, let's go and just check it out. I saw some reactions like people were busy telling Donald Trump that he should stay off Nigeria, including Sheikh Agumi, Femi Fani Kayode, and their likes. They were like, bring it on. If you want fight, we go give you fight. If you want war, we go give you war. There are still some other set of people, like somebody like Senate President, who don't say, no, I beg, I dare not talk when Donald Trump is talking. I beg, I don't want issue. We have seen the likes and also seen the likes of Nyesom Wike, who talk, say, Donald Trump, I beg, if you know, say you won't help us, what we just need from you is to give us weapon. Guys, can you imagine that? Telling Donald Trump to give you weapon, join the weapon where una get already. Make it still end up in the hands of the same Boko Haram. We have seen so many cases where this Boko Haram come into military base, dismantle the military base, pack out all their weapons. So now Nyesom Wike is telling Donald Trump, oh yeah, give us more arms. Make we still carry and give our soldiers. Make this Boko Haram come dismantle our military, take them. That one another thought said. Then the first set of people were like, why not work together with our Nigerian army? Nigerian army and US army, they can work together and fight this Boko Haram. But here is my response. I'm responding to this last set of people. I have a video I want to drop with you. Inside this video, you will see the reason why Donald Trump or US army will not want to work with Nigerian army again. They have tried it during the time of Chibok girls. They have also tried it during the time that Boko Haram adopted one US man. Guys, from this video, you are going to get the reason why the main truth, the man really said a whole lot and expose the truth again, where we say the kind narrative where many Nigerian politicians they carry, because what many of Nigerian politicians are saying right now is that Donald Trump is coming to Nigeria because of the kind of mineral resources we get inside Nigeria. But this man pointed out, Mr. Emmanuel pointed out that Donald Trump don't first of all want Buhari. Many years ago, when Buhari was the president of Nigeria, he said, stop killing Christians. He's saying one Buhari. And he got to tell us, make we check him. If Donald Trump really want to do something about it, if will not take excuse from us. But Donald Trump wants us to basically save ourselves. But Donald Trump wants Nigerian government to save Nigerians. That is just all he's saying. And guys, which kind of country will be safe? Somebody they tell us, say, I go deal with you now if you not save on yourself. Can you imagine? Guys, make it make sense. He's telling our government, save your people or else I go deal with you now. And our government, they cry. I see some of us with even the lament over them. Yes, I be the lament before until I get to now research and see some kind of things. As it make it make sense. It's like your house is on fire. Somebody they tell you, say, this your house will on fire. Try to quench the fire. If not, I go can't deal with you. You could first say the person tell you, say, make you quench the fire where they burn your own house. Make it make sense, guys. And again, people have come up with this narrative that Trump is coming to Nigeria because of our mineral resources and all that. But the man said in this video that Trump does not really care. Because already, those are mineral resources where they cry off. Majority, almost half of them, don't there for America already. Our politicians collect our money, come over there and buy properties. Our politicians collect our money, come over there and live a very good life. As they spend them, as they do all those things, which country they reverse? Now US, now they reverse. Then concerning our oil, it say already many Nigerians say, Jonathan, I talk this one, so no be me tell them. So now Jonathan, I tell him, same some Nigerians already, they smuggle our oil, they go American. You see, as at that time with Jonathan day, Obama day, now Jonathan don't beg Obama, say, see what's in they happen, I beg help us to stop those things. And which we believe up to now is still going on. So if already they smuggle our fuel, they go there, waiting they won't on these out they do. Guys, we need to listen to this video. Or more, the man said a whole lot of things, and I'm going to drop it and drop other reactions from our Rise Television. So my people, I beg, help me to share this video and subscribe to my channel if you have not. Subscription is for free, just for you to be getting updates as I drop in our news. Bye-bye.
Let's be clear. President Trump had actually called out Nigeria face to face with Buhari in 2018 when they met. The difference is Trump asked him nicely, stop the killing of Christians in Nigeria. It was direct engagement. And afterwards, they went back into the White House and they signed a trade agreement. So Trump was able to engage with him to resolve this issue and still do business with him. What has happened? After Trump left, the Democrats came in and they completely stopped an evaluation of Nigeria. And so, of course, when Trump came back, the situation had worsened since the last time that, he complained about it 7 years ago. And unfortunately, instead of addressing the issue, the Nigerian government started denying the facts. You see, when you are accused of stealing the goat meat, your response should not be, who would have stolen that kind of salty meat anyway? Because by your response, you admitted guilt. The Nigerian government, instead of saying, look, we are addressing the issue, this is what we have done, they say, hey, it's not only Christians who are being killed, others are being killed. It's an admission of state failure. And this is why we are where we are now on this issue. But let me point out something very important. Trump has announced the designation, but then the next phase is sanctions. And I want to be clear that the first time sanctions were waived, and this time around, it's not too late to waive sanctions. Now, let me just reassure listeners about the threat of military action. Now, you were the one as bureau chief of Guardian here in the US who reported exclusively that the US military set up a base in Niger that was covering terrorism in Nigeria. You were the only one in the world to report it. Guess what? Those two bases that America had in Niger are now lost. They were closed after the coup. So America has lost its footprint in West Africa to conduct special operations. So what that has resulted in is that Boko Haram has actually increased its operational footprint and pathology. So the situation is worse. And I have to tell you this. I do not believe that President Trump is going to unleash any attacks on Nigeria for two reasons. One, historically, the US military has been reluctant to fight side by side with the Nigerian government because they don't trust the Nigerian military. And one specific example is when they got intelligence on the location of the Chibok girls in the forest, they were cooperating with the Nigerian army under direction of President Obama. So the US government told the Nigerian army that they would gas the camp where Boko Haram was with the girls and then knock everybody out so that they could rescue the girls safely without exchange of gunfire. After they mapped out this plan, the next thing that happened, when the troops got to the camp of Boko Haram, they saw Boko Haram wearing gas masks. So the US realized that the Nigerian military had leaked the operational details to Boko Haram. This is why the US does not want to work directly with Nigeria with boots on the ground, because they do not trust the Nigerian army. Now, here is what we could be concerned of, and here is what I believe Trump was referring to. An American was abducted in Niger and was brought by the Fulani Islamist terrorists to Nigeria as they were about to sell him to Boko Haram. That was during the Trump first term. So Trump sent US Special Forces to Nigeria to go and rescue them. But to show you the level of cooperation between the US and Nigeria, Taj Patel then was the one who was to liaise with Nigeria and give Nigeria information that US troops were coming into their airspace. They literally stopped the SEAL team while they were in the air until they got clearance from Nigeria to enter Nigeria's airspace. They arrived in Sokoto, they killed the 6 Fulani terrorists who had abducted the American citizen. They captured one and handed him to the police, and then they flew back with their citizen. What happened then? Trump came and announced it, that we have just recovered Philip Walton in an operation who had been abducted. So why am I giving you this background? A few days ago, another American was abducted in Niger. And what Trump is saying, in effect, is that if this guy ends up being brought to Nigeria again by these Fulanis who abducted him, I will take action. So the likelihood, what he might mean, is that the location where this boy is found will be held liable. So my advice to whoever is in touch with these people, I know that Nigeria's NSA has been involved in ransoming people from Fulani bandits. Let that American that ride out be found and returned peacefully so that there will be no problem.
Well, let's just, for the sake of objectivity and balance, let's say that what you just said about the NSA is an allegation because that office has denied, ransom taking, since it's not here to give a response. But to take your question to the next level, you also will recall, Mr. Ogebe, that it was the first presidency of Mr. Donald Trump that actually facilitated the sales of the military to Kanos to Nigeria, which was prevented before it got there. So clearly, I also don't think that Mr. Trump is playing games. And like you have said, he had also raised this issue informally with the former president. And so it's not as if he's just coming to the issue for the first time. And so I wanted to ask you the next question, that what do you say, with this background, what do you say to the conspiracy theorists who argue that the Americans are only interested in the resources in Nigeria, particularly the solid minerals, the lithiums, and all the other stuff that they are in they have a significant need of? What's your response? You are there in Washington, D.C., Emmanuel.
Well, the funny thing is that the United States has more oil reserves than Nigeria. Secondly, President Jonathan told me himself that Nigerian oil is being smuggled into the US, and that he appealed to President Obama to help him investigate and stop the oil bunkering that was illegally going into the US. Now, of course, you know that the US has signed an agreement with Ukraine to have access to their earth minerals. Nigeria is not that critically needed by the US for the US to waste military manpower and resources to take over Nigeria. It is arrant nonsense. Our leaders in Nigeria are already stealing money from Nigeria and bringing to the West and buying houses. So they don't need to do that. But let me make something very clear. And the issue here is this, okay? When we're talking about foreign intervention in Nigeria, let us look at the facts. The people in northwest Nigeria invited Lakawura, a terrorist group, to come into Nigeria and assist them in fighting bandits, only for Lakawura to come in and become bandits themselves. Let's remember that El Rufai, a sitting governor, said that he traveled out of the country to go and pay off the Fulanis who are attacking Nigeria. And we saw what happened. They ended up moving into Nigeria and creating a terrorist syndicate nationwide. Let's remember that Buhari himself got in Fulanis in the hopes of, destabilizing the country if he did not win the elections. So when you look at all that has been done by the other side, it's unfortunate if somebody now comes to you and says, try and save your own people from being killed. And you, as a government who have admitted that these are foreigners who are coming in and killing you, are beginning to insult the person that no, it's not just Muslim Christians they're killing, it's Muslims too. Let me point out something else that's very important to note. Trump has said that he may stop aid to Nigeria. And here's the thing. Remember that Obama and co at a point tried to leverage their aid to say Nigeria must introduce and accept same-sex marriage and so on and so forth. And, like them doing that. This time around, it's a very different situation. He's saying, try and stop the killings of your own citizens. So it's not a question of their imposing Western ideologies and theories on Africa. It's a question of saying, save your own lives and value your own lives. So I think, everyone should be rest assured that we will not see a military escalation, but we should certainly at this time begin to take aggressive steps to engage. The sanctions can be waived. The federal government should set up a response team and bring in knowledgeable people like yourself. You were in the US, you know this issue. Bring in Kuka, bring in, knowledgeable people. Let's sit down and come up with a roadmap on how to avert sanctions.
But one country that is apparently still concerned is Chad, which ordered the immediate closure of its border with Nigeria, citing security concerns following this US threat to invade Nigeria. Now, the Chadian president, Mohamed Idris Deby, is believed to have made the move after alleged intelligence suggested that terrorist elements from northern Nigeria were preparing to flee into Chadian territory. Now, military sources in N'Djamena were said to have confirmed that the Chadian army has been placed on full alert with troops and armored vehicles deployed across key border corridors linking the two countries.
A Rise News channel can confirm that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu will announce imminently new ambassadors for critical strategic nations as a multi-strategic approach to stem the Trump threat, and he's directed the service chiefs or security services to conclude vetting immediately. New ambassadors may be appointed as early as next week. Again, breaking news, the president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, will announce imminently new ambassadors, and this might be as early as next week. And security services have been directed to conclude vetting immediately. So this is an update, of course, on the response by the government to designating Nigeria as a country of particular concern and taking action to ensure that they're able to stem terrorism across Nigeria. And also, of course, further diplomatic conversations and diplomatic dialogue with America. I think this is definitely big, and it ties in with what
paragraphs in my column back page of this morning is devoted to this issue of the appointment of ambassadors. We will recall that the Nigerian government dealt with this, it will appear, months ago, when the Senate looked at the list. The Senate was said to have made its recommendations. The list went back to the president. Nobody has had anything. It's been up to almost 2 years that ambassadors were recalled, and then there's been no action. Now, this is a particular case whereby, the president or the presidency is having a knee-jerk reaction. It's not about the national security meeting. Those meetings are held procedurally to address challenges. But in this particular case, it has taken Trump's allegation to wake up the government. Many of the original names were told on that list. Some of them have died.
Yes.
Some are no longer qualified.
Correct.
The professional persons have many of them have even retired.
Yes.
Because of the tardiness of government. Now, the ambassadors are representatives of the government, of the president, directly, under international law and diplomacy. Now, to have left those posts empty, I don't think it's a good thing. But now, okay, knee-jerk reaction, but there will be a lot of cleanup that will have to be done. It's not just to say national security agencies should vet the list. They have to look at that list again and not appoint dead people as ambassadors. They have to be very sure. 2, it should not be job for the boys. Because there is a professional cadre. There is a non-professional cadre. And if you have a list of politicians without experience, now Nigeria needs very experienced people. Absolutely. And the thinking should be done in terms of the rating of these agencies. The United States, China, the Court of St. James, being left without a substantive ambassador or high commissioner for a very long time, I think is a major oversight that is inexcusable. Now, our neighboring countries, you may think if they post you to Togo, you may think it's not an important assignment. It is. All these neighboring countries, Togo, Niger, Chad, Cameroon, they are very strategic positions. And then the EU, but in any case. So it's important that professionalism is recognized. Many of these embassies have been under the control of councillors and charge d'affaires who have limited authority. Now there is also the issue of funding. At a point we said we were going to rationalize our foreign missions. Now, because those missions are not properly funded, they are not properly maintained. But in other words, I'm just saying, better late than never. But there should be professionalism, including even the security attaches, the defense attaches that they are called, that will be sent there. This wake-up call that I've written about, we see in diplomacy now that some people have said, look, if we have a functioning, fully staffed embassy in Washington, maybe perhaps, the diplomat who is there, who is leading the team, will have been able to at least do some damage control before we got to this level. So this is the issue, but I've asked for...
Say this.
Nobody is stopping you from talking.
The truth is we praise President Tinubu for finally doing this, because we've been talking about this for how many years now? 2 years. When will you put in ambassadors? In fact, we spoke about it when this talk started. That if you have ambassadors there, they'll be able to do high-level country-to-country meeting, rather than say you want to send some people. Because as of last week, the posture, you can correct me if I'm wrong, was that they wanted to send some people to go and interface with Congress in America. And we kept on saying, there's a need for ambassadors.
Even the Senate had said they were going to Congress.
Thank God you said it with your mouth. That's a fact you said with your mouth. That is the Senate that said they want to go and interface with them. But we're happy. At least we'll have ambassadors that we're able to talk to them one-on-one. I don't want to say that these are the results of the Trump threats, but it is what it is. At least President Tinubu now has said we'll put ambassadors in. So what should be the charge from these ambassadors? Interface. Tell your own part of the story. And also, apart from ambassadors, we must also show that we are ready right here. See, Femi, the reason why we are having all these problems is that we've seen some people support all sorts of things. There's a former government spokesperson that once tweeted in this country that he had no qualms with blasphemy laws. A former government spokesperson. The tweet is out there. Not this government, too. A former government spokesperson.
Name that person, though, so that people don't think I'm the one.
Yeah, his tweet is out there, but
I'm not the one.
It's not you, Dr. Abati. You can't say such a thing now. We know.
No, his post is out there.
You
so
get
his name is out
the
there.
tweet is out there.
For,
we don't need to. We are seeing all of these things is happening. You know me, I will tell you the undiluted truth. Some people will not like it. Me, I don't care. It's the truth that will make us free in this country. So these are part of the things Onikepo Braithwaite is talking about. So we now need to, apart from ambassador, we need to fix things internally. Arewa Konzo made a very important point yesterday about having that, judicial panel. Let people come, let's talk.
Yes,
sort of like the Oputa panel we had back in the days. Let's talk. As for that Israeli woman that they are trying to, God bless that woman for bringing out the videos of how they were torturing a Palestinian. God bless her. No matter the persecution she faced from the right-wing Israeli government, she's a hero forever, because the truth will come out. Do you know that since the ceasefire happened, Femi, over 230 people have been killed?
Absolutely, Palestinians
in the name of a ceasefire happening. And that's the sad reality of the society we live in. So we need to call a spade a spade. And Madam Saluhu, Mama Saluhu, has sworn herself in after shambolic election. She got how many percent?
98%.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of, because you see, we forget that the joke some people call democracy. We forget in a hurry that Saddam Hussein too used to have a political party called the Ba'ath Party.
Yes.
When they had elections with the Ba'ath Party, they used to get over 90-something%. But we can see how it ended. And Africa is not free. Do you know that Don Babaye, the military leader of Guinea, has now said he wants to throw his axe into the elections and run for democratic elections? You can see the joke Africa has become. Democracy is suffering. Our leaders should speak up.
When will Africa speak up? I said on this table that other leaders on the African continent are enablers. Because if you see an obvious sham election and you congratulate and celebrate elections like that of the president, you're part of the problem.